First story. OP's German girlfriend is scared to meet my Jewish family. So a few months ago, I started dating someone who's the smartest, loveliest, kind-hearted, and most beautiful young woman on the planet. She and her family immigrated from Germany when she was in middle school, and she learned English fluently. She's got a really pretty accent too, haha. And we met at my school and started dating. So here's the thing. I'm Jewish on my mother's side, and we have family ties to the Holocaust, and some of our family members were actually in Auschwitz. As I said, my girlfriend is German, and whenever I bring up my being Jewish, it feels like I've hit a sore spot, like she feels guilty. I noticed she also never talks about her heritage, and seems to hate the fact that she's German. She once told me that when she first moved here, 2 kids at school threw a cup of soda at her and yelled, "Effing Nazi." And she was bullied for it that year, edgelords calling her a Nazi, so it sounds like that's where it stems from. My parents invited us over for dinner this Friday because my sisters and brother are all going to be coming home for a bit, and I asked my girlfriend if she wanted to come meet them all. She seems really anxious about it, and she was asking if they knew she was German, and if they were comfortable with that, and she is still very hesitant. Is there anything I can do? I'm at a bit of a loss here. TLDR, I'm Jewish. My girlfriend is German. She feels guilty about her heritage and is scared to meet my family because of it. Comments. Particular train 18235. Maybe remind her that lots of Jews are German, and that lots of Germans helped save Jewish lives. The people who bullied her were racists who obviously knew very little about history or Germany. I take it your parents are not this way. Tell her a little bit about their individual temperaments and interests ahead of time. It might calm her down. Update. 8 days later. Okay, I made a post a few days ago about how my German girlfriend is really ashamed of her heritage and was really worried to meet my Jewish family because of it. And I figured I'd give a quick update. I'm going to write this fast since it's now late and I'm going to go to bed soon. I convinced her to come to dinner tonight with my parents, sisters, and brother, and told her the second she felt uncomfortable, we could leave. We got there, and my mom could tell she was on edge and asked what was wrong. My girlfriend told her she was scared of what she thought of her being German with her being Jewish, and my mom looked at her and asked, "Do you hate Jews?" And she stopped and went, "No," and she said, "Then what's there to be scared of?" and laughed. I could tell my girlfriend was still a little nervous, but this definitely put her at ease a bit. As the night went on, she started to become more and more comfortable, and I noticed she made less of an effort to mask her accent, and even spoke in German to herself at one point in front of my mom, to which my mom seemed very impressed. When we were on our way back, she was telling me how nice my family was, and how happy she was that she met them. And she saw where I got my kind-heartedness and sense of humor from. So yeah, it went well. Thank you to the people who commented on my original post. Comments. No astronaut 2795. We had foreign exchange students in high school from Germany, and the girl who stayed with my friend immediately apologized for WW2 and everything that happened. We were 15 and like, okay, it's not your fault. There's got to be some deep feelings of remorse as a collective. I'm glad you felt more comfortable in the end. Rude Royal 5043. It is taught at a young age to children in Germany that they will forever be paying for the mistakes of their ancestors. Channeling. That is not true. What is taught in Germany is something called remembrance culture, meaning we think it's important to speak about what happened and not forget about it. We also teach about collective responsibility, not for the past, but for the future. As a people who have gone through fascism and populism and fell under its spell, we need to be vigilant and able to recognize these things should they ever reappear. That's why we've been seeing hundreds of thousands of Germans protesting against right-wing extremist politicians these past few weeks. Archet Misra. I didn't read the post, but I'm sorry, this title is too funny. I swear, I wouldn't be able to stop making jokes about it at the dinner table. OP. And that's why I'm not bringing you home to mama. Second story. OP made his buddy realize his daughter is probably not his. Chaos ensued. I don't even know how to start. But here it goes. Me and my buddy are both in our mid-20s and work as engineers for the same company. We've known each other since high school, and he's pretty much my best friend. We played a couple of rounds of CS tonight, and we're talking via Discord. His girlfriend works as a nurse during the night shifts sometimes. We usually use this time to play. The usual stuff. After the game, we decided to take a quick break for a couple of minutes, so we did the usual SHT chat. We somehow talked about school, and how both of us really never enjoyed our time there. As we grew up, we had both been bullied for being nerdish back in our school days. My buddy said that he hopes his daughter, who is 3 years old, will have a much nicer time later in school or high school compared to him. It got to the point where we talked about all the unimportant stuff we had to learn while we were there. Well, for me, I've always disliked biology classes, as I hated the teacher back then. I mean, I really hated them. And I said jokingly to my buddy, trying to sound like my old teacher. The only things my 6th grade biology teacher taught us are, mitochondria are the power plants of the cell, and you can tell if your mama cheated by your eye color. My buddy is laughing at this point. Really, the eye color? And I said, yes, apparently. My buddy asks, how? Take me for example. I have blue eyes, and so does my sister. Apparently, blue eyes are caused by what are called recessive genes. If one parent has blue eyes and the other has brown eyes, there is only a small chance for your kid to be born with blue eyes. Well, my parents both also have blue eyes of their own, so it would be more than unlikely for me to have brown eyes. My buddy said, the more you know, then paused for a second. Then he said, be right back. You gotta make sure the little one goes to sleep now. After that, he returned roughly a minute later, and I could hear him almost sobbing. Me and my girlfriend also both have blue eyes, but my daughter doesn't. It took me some time, but I could calm him down eventually. So after that, we both spent some time Googling away. But nope, blue eyes are recessive, as I remembered. We found out that if both parents have blue eyes, the ratio is 99% blue eyes and 1% brown or green, so this is highly unlikely. My buddy quickly disconnected from the call. I tried to text and call him, but he didn't answer until 30 minutes later, saying he would call me soon. I stayed up all night, telling my girlfriend to go to bed without me. The longer I waited, the more I started fearing for the worst. I texted him again and again, and he always answered that he'd call me in a couple of minutes. At 5 a.m., he finally called me back and said that his girlfriend came home at 2:30 a.m. I asked him what's wrong. He told her he's not feeling well and will soon get back to bed. He waited until she was asleep to call me back. He told me he would take a paternity test behind her back to have something official slapped in her face. Then he started to cry, and I drove to his place to pick him up, and we went to a late-night drive-through and grabbed something to eat. I've never seen my best friend like this, and I feel like I'm the one responsible for crushing his world. He told her that he wanted to propose to her on Valentine's Day. But that's off the table. I dropped him off 2 hours later at his place. He said he would call me tomorrow. Now I'm typing this out while lying in bed next to my girlfriend, who slept the whole time, unable to sleep. I can't shake the feeling that I destroyed my buddies' lives. TLDR, my buddy and I were talking about 6th grade biology, and found out, while talking about it, that he and his girlfriend both have blue eyes, and his daughter has brown eyes. So he's likely not the father, and I feel like I've destroyed his life by casually mentioning 6th grade biology. Comments. Suspicious. Yep, eye color is not as easy as people make it out to be, especially if all you know about it is from high school biology. Derfargen. Correct. The post should read, TIFU, because I thought what I remembered about high school biology made me an expert in human genetics. Cynical mage. It's rare, but it can happen. A childhood neighbor had it. Both parents had blue eyes and a brown daughter, and that little girl was an absolute clone of her father. The whole dominant gene thing is an oversimplification and doesn't reflect how many genes are actually involved or how many ways they can interact with one another. Desai. Apparently, if the parents with blue eyes have a certain combination of genes between them, there's a 1/4 chance for each child they have to get brown eyes. So it's not so rare after all in that regard, if at first the two wrong people meet. If both parents have blue eyes, how could they have a child with brown eyes? Agree. I teach high school biology, and I preface genetics with, this is an oversimplification of how things work for reasons like this. If you look up an eye color chart, there are so many different variations on colors, more than just brown, blue, green, hazel, etc. Update. 3 days later. Update. He is not the father. So the results came in today, and my buddy called me right away. He showed the results to his now ex-girlfriend, and she broke down, claiming that even if their daughter is not his, they should work this one out. My buddy has told her no, and that he will not raise somebody else's kid. She started to demand that, since he has been raising her for 3 years now, and that she had in fact stopped sleeping around 2 years ago. So everything is good now and we can work this over. He's now crashing at my place, while giving them 10 days to find a new place to stay. My buddy also told me he's giving her 10 only for the kid's sake. Otherwise, he would have thrown her out right away. He's also looking for a lawyer should there be an aftermath to this. But the test is more than sufficient where we live, so he's pretty much on the hook. Also, if you are wondering, the hospital does 3 tests back to back to make sure. Also, my buddy is the only one paying for the apartment and 2 cars they own, and he will sell them to his niece. TLDR. Buddy got the results, and he's not the father. Comments. Big Data 69 nice. Y'all's comments aged poorly. Japan Firjanga. Well the people 3 days ago must feel awkward now, eh? Blacksmithok 2430. I stopped sleeping around 2 years ago. WTF? Was that supposed to make him feel better? Thank you for watching the video. If you are interested in listening to these kinds of stories, we've got more in store for you. Simply subscribe to our channel, hit the like button, and share it with your friends.